But I definitely wanted to touch on the point you said of the families and the people who I've seen who have thrived and come through this are actually, yeah, the ones who have done the work. They did the work before this happened. They've been practicing some form of mental fitness. And definitely in the online community that I do, I noticed that families there where they had that real going on holiday, taking vacations together, really involved in the teaching, they've really thrived during this period. And there was something on our last community call where someone mentioned where he said, if you just focus on your pod around you, because in the UK they've created these things called pods. So if you have someone in the pod, you can visit each other because you've agreed to keep the same kind of rules and stuff with contact. So he said, if you focus on the pod around you, just make sure that you can do as much as possible to influence that pod around you and make sure you uplift everyone. Then the chances are they're going to do that in their pod, and then that can spread, really far and wide. And I really love that point in that I think, this is a chance to really, if we just focus on our immediate community and do as much as possible, then that can keep growing and reach as far as possible. And I love the point you made. It is all about leadership. We're found in your family. It starts from the family and then it goes out to work. And the way you lead in your family will show up when you go to work. And that kind of led me to the next point of how are you guys creating those big solutions and in the big reset in the places that you work at the moment through leadership? Who wants to go first?
I can jump in. I think it goes back to really recognizing that everybody is dealing with this differently, and also recognizing that the boundaries between work and life no longer exist. And I think by understanding both of those really well, you can kind of meld together an environment that works for people based on their own needs and their support, their needs of support during that time. So, for example, and it's a two-way street, right? As a leader, I need to be able to give that flexibility and allow the employees to adapt because I, at the same time, need to do the same thing. And so I cannot, enforce things that I simply cannot live up to either. And so it's really kind of releasing those expectations in a way to be able to function in a totally different way than what we've been used to, and allowing people the space and the time to be able to adapt to the new normal and to still be able to provide the support for the work to continue going forward, and understanding that may look different for now and being okay with that. I think one of the first things that really helped me through this was going, I have a lot to do now, and I'm probably not going to do any of it very well. And I'm okay with that, because right now my priority is making sure that my family survives day to day on this, and we come out okay at the end. And I'm okay with, not being able to complete my full to-do list today, because I know they will be tomorrow in my room that I'm in every day. So, it is one of those things where it is about reevaluating expectations and understanding that the work will get done. It might just be on a different timeline, or it might look different right now, and that's okay. And I think that's important for a leader to be able to release that from your employees.
I love that answer. Definitely. I love that answer, what you said of your to-do list is always going to be there, but prioritizing your family, because unfortunately I have a few friends who have suffered from serious burnout and just having a breakdown because they didn't adapt their to-do list. They were still aiming for that promotion, and to be fair, the financial fear of you feel that in your head you still have to perform because you don't want to lose your job is really, very real. But I think I love the point of prioritizing what is really important, and first and foremost is your family. And the way I always think is, if you don't have your mental fitness and you're not there and you're trying to work for your family are not going to be happy when you're broken down. So
right. I mean, nothing really is going to get accomplished either on the work side or, balancing your family if you don't have good mental fitness at this point. Just everything will suffer. And so being able to take those steps to ensure that integrity is maintained so that you are available at work when you're needed or with your family when you're needed, I think is really important.
Yeah. And the point you mentioned about flexibility as well. So my wife just recently started working here, and she's moved. So we both worked in the corporate sector in investment banking, which was very much corporate. You don't really show your private life. One thing I loved in the new place she works at, it's an online education company. Her boss was very much, once she realized she had a kid, was like, it's okay to bring your kid on calls. She would even ask, where is his name's Trudy. So she would ask, where's Trudy? So then all of a sudden it was like, she would never have thought to like, I'm going to bring my kid on a conference call. But now it's like, it's okay. And it's really given a lot of flexibility. So.
Yeah, absolutely. My 6-year-old is on about 80% of my Zoom calls in some fashion.
Not this one?
I know. She actually just tried to come in a little while ago, but she heard me, so she stopped. But I think, it's such an important point to make that, before we would have done everything in our power to, keep those boundaries up and our lives separated. And now, she oftentimes will kind of get, pretend that she's working and taking a call, because she's seeing me actively doing that, and it's like, this is what moms do, so I'm 100% okay with her just being a part of my work, my day-to-day work, because I think it's good for her too to be able to see what her mom does, and it allows me to incorporate her a little bit when I'm kind of on the work zone as well.
Yeah, it's definitely good to be able to bring all yourself to work. I find it's very freeing. My wife tells me it's been very freeing for her. So
it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Melissa, did you want to go?
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree more that there's just been there's some beauty that's added when you get to see where somebody lives, when you get to see somebody's kid or their cat or their dog or their whatever, like it's hard to work from home every day. It's difficult to have these lines blurred in some sense, but like that flexibility that I think has been offered has made such a big difference. I mean, I don't have kids yet, but my friends who do, like, they express, as you both have, like both the struggle and the joy in terms of how they're juggling things right now.